Tove from my kitchen today. There's a moment when Moshe confronts Aharon where you feel like, really, really, this is what you're going to say. Um, After Moshe has quickly dealt with with immediacy, begging God to forgive, and then coming down and announcing that they're going to deal with those who have engaged in this. Um, Moshe says to him, "Me'asa lacha ha'am hazeh." He says to Aaron, "What in the world did this people do to you? Ki heveita alav chata'ah gdolah," that you, um, in response, brought upon them this tremendous sin. And Aaron says, "Please don't be angry at me. Um, you know how the people were, how they were in this horrible way and frightening way. We discussed that in the Midrashic read that yesterday. And they said, make us a God that will go before us, because Moshe, so far so good, because this Moshe, the man who brought us up from Egypt, we don't know what happened to him. So far so good. Va'omar, and I said to them, Lemi Zahav, who has gold? Hitparku, take it off the newly and give it to me, right? Earrings and the like. Va'ashlichehu va'esh, and I cast it into the fire. Vayetze ha'egel hazeh, and out came this egel. Now that is strange. And that, in effect, is Aaron's way of saying, like, I just took it and threw it in the fire, and I'm telling you, Moshe, usually what would come out would be a blob of molten gold that would then dry in a blob. But in this case, Vayetze ha'egel hazeh, I can't explain it. This egel came out. Now, Moshe hears this and is, in fact, incredulous, because there's nothing that happens. There's no response on Moshe's part, and he just moves on. And it's a low point between the two of them. But the challenge actually is, when you go back to the verses describing the event, it's not clear. And he took the gold from them, the Torah describes earlier in chapter 32, Dalid, and he yatzar oto bacheret, which Rashi says can mean one of two things. One hand, it means that he shaped it with an engraving tool. Well, that means that Aaron is not telling the truth, right? Or Aaron is diminishing what happened. Is it happened, but really Aaron played a role, and you have to figure out, why did Aaron do that? We talked about that a little bit, out of fear and the like, or a strategy. But the other rendering is that it means that he tied it up in a bundle, okay, in a purse, and he threw it in, and indeed that was the case. He just took a bunch of gold and threw it in the fire, and out came this calf, and you're left to say, oh my God, how was it accomplished? And here you'll find that the introduction of things that are unusual for us to imagine, that black magic was used, and all forms of incantation were used, not by Aaron, but by other people that draw on their skills from Egypt to produce this, or the Satan again, to produce this ego. And Aaron saying, I had no idea this was what was going to happen. I was playing with the people and relying on just throw it in and it'll be fine. And this emerged. Really interesting and complicated stuff in front of us. Knowing what, how people come up with what seem to be lame excuses, which maybe aren't so lame, and what lame excuses we offer sometimes when we need to have the right explanations instead. Have a great day.